As you spend more time in Bridge, it's inevitable that your program library is going to grow and grow and grow. And sometimes we don't think about that ahead of time in terms of creating a strategy to organize that. That's why I'm going to go over folders here today, because it's an often overlooked feature within Bridge that can help you manage that program library, especially as that program list grows over time. So what I want to note here is that you're going to see two teams, sample team and team 2. For every team that you create, automatically a folder in the library is also created. So I'll go over to here. We're already in programs. I'll click on folders, and you can see we have sample team, team 2, and then by default it always comes with no team, because there could be programs that you're working on or you've created that you haven't assigned to a team yet. Now, underneath these teams, you can add subfolders. So I'll do that here. I'll put completed. Now what I can do is, on these programs that I have right here, go over to the 3 dots, select on move to folder, and I moved it into the completed folder. It doesn't have to be completed. It can be anything, and I'll get into some more strategies there. I was just giving you an example based on what's in this library. Now you can create, multiple subfolders underneath a team, and they're going to be unique to this team. And a question we get is, what happens if I delete that subfolder? What happens to the program in there? And I'll show you. If you delete the folder, it makes a note here. It's simply going to merge back into the overarching team folder where it existed initially. So nothing lost. All right, so now that you kind of get the idea on how to create, use, and move things around within these folders, let's go over a few use cases specific to, private training, sport, and then maybe even tactical. So the private training instance comes from our friend Craig Rasmussen at Results Fitness, where they create a team for each one of their coaches, and then their coaches create subfolders for each of the clients they work with. So in this example, let's say sample team. Let's say this is, my team. This is Coach Rob. Then the subfolder would be everyone that I work with. And then what I would do in that instance is put their programs, whatever I assign Tina, whatever I assign Eddie, into their respective folder. That way I could easily track what they've done over time. Now, one of the rules that they say is a non-negotiable in their programming organization, their structure, is that each program that they design for these people, they want their full first and last name. So that's taking that organization and even the efficiency when it comes to searching programs to the next level. Now, another example in sport could be if you had, we'll say, a football team. You can have the whole football team's program in the folder, or you could, within there, be a little more precise and have DBs, O-line, D-line, or bigs, mids, skills, kickers, however you organize it. But you could have their programs exist under the football team, and then each of those individual programs per position category housed under the subfolder. And then an example that I'm going to say is for tactical, only because that's where I predominantly live. But what I'll do is in advance, I'll create right here, actually create a new team that I'll nickname template. And I'm going to do that for you real quick. Tactical, because that's what I said. This could be used for, but it really could be used for anyone, any large organization, multiple site, multiple coaches, so on and so forth that share programs. I'll create this template team. I'll have one, which I won't do right now just for time purposes, one dummy athlete in there. and I'll go through and design a new program, and I'll start off by naming it template, then whatever the name of that program is, assign it to that dummy athlete in the team, and then mark that whole entire program complete. I know there's a few steps there, but if you're working with a lot of people and you don't want that template program to be edited, to be messed up, or even assigned to a user so it no longer exists as a template, this is a strategy to ensure that the template stays a template. And the reason you go in and you mark it complete, so for example, program 1 right here, is because if I go into this program that's already completed, I don't have the option to rename it. I can't assign it to anybody. No folder. Can't switch teams. I go in to edit it. I can't drag any of the blocks. I can't drag any of the days. I can't edit anything. So because it's completed, it is forever going to be that template. It's going to remain as it is. Then how we leverage that is we go and we clone it. Clone. And now we have a copy. Now this copy can go into and make all the edits that you want, drop and drag the blocks, edit the prescriptions, so on and so forth. So a few different things there. 1, what folders are and how to use them. 3, kind of unique use cases on how to use folders. And then a few strategies within there in terms of naming and marking folders complete. Again, just strategic ways to keep your library more organized and functioning the way you intend.